It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Welcome to the second episode of the Underground Filmmakers Podcast, where we discuss, compute, create. This is your co-host, Ethan Winslet.
And I am your other co-host, Cole Johnson.
Let's get it.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is the day before Thanksgiving when we are recording this, and when we release this, it's going to be way after Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
So we hope that you had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you gained a lot of weight and ate a lot of turkey, because that's the only way to do it.
Oh, yeah.
But today, we are switching it up. We are throwing a curveball at you guys. As mentioned before, one of our big inspirations for this podcast comes from Rocket Jump's Story Break podcast, where three guys sit around and they have a pre-picked topic before they get on, and they sit down and they pretty much come up with a story, a full conceptualized feature film idea in 1 hour.
Oh, yeah.
And Ethan, you know what we're going to do?
I have no clue. He's been keeping this from me all, actually, 2 or 3 weeks. He came
2
up
or
with
3
something.
weeks. Well, we're completely going to rip off what they do for this episode because it's very entertaining. So if you guys have not checked out theirs, they have about, I don't know, man. They might have like close to 100 episodes of these types of podcasts. It's very entertaining. So
that's some dedication right there.
It is. So go check them out. And what I'm going to do is tell Ethan about a character.
Oh, boy.
That I have seen in real life. I have seen this man. I will go ahead and reveal that he is a man.
My heart's racing.
And we're going to see if we can come up with a full-length feature film idea based off this one guy. Can we do it?
Oh, I know we can do it.
I know we can do it, too. I told Ethan before we start that he needs to pick a time period. It can be any time period because this specific character can exist in any time period. So, Ethan, do you have one selected?
For some reason, the only thing that I can really think of is like 500 years in the future.
500 years in the future.
2518? 2518?
Yeah.
25,018. How would they word that then? 2518?
Yeah, I think it was 2518. All right, folks. We are going to be in the year 2518.
Here we go.
Now, here's our character. All right, so Ethan, this is the first time Ethan's hearing this story, and this is the first time I'm actually telling the story, and
yes,
you guys get to hear it along with him. So the other day, me and my girlfriend, we were at the gym, and we decided afterwards that we were going to get some Subway.
Okay? Oh, classic.
So we go in, we get some Subway, and as we were coming out of Subway, I feel eyes on me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And by this time, I'm like already at my car, so I'm letting her in, and I look over, and there's this guy who's like propped up against the wall. He has 1 foot on the wall and like 1 foot grounded. And I'll describe this guy head to toe. All right. Well, first of all, he had a black cowboy hat on. Okay. And then moving down to what he was wearing on over his jacket, he was wearing a trench coat. A full-on black trench coat. This man was in all black. Everything I describe is black.
Now, was it like knees? Was it to the knees? Or
it was to the knees.
Oh,
it was long, dude. It was a long trench coat, a long leather trench coat. Okay, and so then he was wearing tight leather pants and black rattlesnake cowboy boots.
Oh, this man.
And but the only thing that was not black on his body, he had silver chains, like hanging from different parts of his body. So he had chains hanging off of his pocket. He had chains hanging out of his pants. And he was wearing reflector sunglasses, right? And he had a big old mustache. And this man was probably 60 years old. And he had a huge stogie sticking out of his mouth, dude. So
what color was his hair?
It was gray. He's kind of an old man.
Okay, so he's a man's man.
Yeah. So we have pretty much a black, mysterious figure. Who's a mysterious figure that's dressed in all black.
Yeah.
With a giant stogie out of his mouth. But the thing is, as I'm letting her in, I feel him staring at me. And I look over and, I nod at him. Doesn't do anything. And I was like, oh, okay. So then, I go around to my side and I whispered to my girlfriend. I said, hey, babe, do you see that guy? She's like, yeah, what is he doing? I was like, I don't know. So I looked back because I kind of wanted to talk to him because he's like the most interesting looking person I've ever seen. I was like, how you doing, man? Nothing.
Is he looking at you?
Dude, the whole time looking at me. And so I turn to my girlfriend and I say, well, and I say this out loud, like in front of him. I'm like, what is this guy's problem? He says nothing. And so I'm like, I said that right in front of him just because I wanted to see if he would react to something. And dude, he kept a straight face the whole time. He didn't like, he had the stogie in his mouth. But he didn't like ever like take a drag from it or anything. It was just like, it was just in his mouth. But it was burning. And so we end up pulling off, and like I can see in my rearview mirror, and like as soon as like we're almost out of sight, then he moves. And I was like, okay, what? And he was not there when we went in. So the time she made a sandwich and we came back out, he was there. But the thing is, about 2 days ago, I saw him again. But this time, I was coming out of the gym again. This all happens around the gym. And I look over, and he's flying down the street on a bike. Dude,
Like a bicycle?
A bicycle, and he still has the stogie in his mouth. He was wearing the exact same clothes.
Oh, wait, how many days was it from that? It was the first encounter.
It was probably like almost a week to the day. I think.
So either we can come up with a conclusion that he never changes his clothes, or he wears the same thing on every day for the rest of his life.
Yes, we can conclude that.
Okay.
We can conclude that.
Holy crap. Wait, what color was the bike?
The bike was blue. It
Okay.
was like a baby. No, it was like a teal color.
Okay.
Okay.
So I feel like he should be... Dude clearly sits there, doesn't say anything even when he's questioned. So obviously he has no issue with like being rude.
Yeah,
right?
he's some sort of, I feel like he's some sort of heartless guy.
Yeah, he's heartless. He has no soul, which means he's
At
scarred.
least initially, yeah. I mean, my initial like thought when I saw him, he's like, this guy's like some sort of omen, but I don't know. He doesn't necessarily need to be omen, but I feel like he should be like some sort of like either supernatural force or like just a force to be reckoned with, a force of nature. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. We could have him be like this bounty hunter, right?
Perfect.
Okay.
Yes, dude, this guy's totally a bounty hunter.
Okay. So, dude's a bounty hunter,
Okay.
but he does not. He doesn't work for anybody, and he doesn't take any contracts from anybody. He literally just hunts down people for his own pleasure.
For his own pleasure. Okay. So we're in 2518. 2518, so there's definitely aliens.
Okay.
There's definitely aliens.
Okay. We could do... He's got to have some sort of reason.
Now, how
behind his
about
killings.
okay, since he's a bounty hunter, how about aliens have like already landed on the Earth? So they are here with us, and we're like coexisting with the aliens. Or no, we're like occupied by the aliens. So because like how a country would occupy, so how we occupy Germany and how Russia occupied Germany, they're occupying Earth.
Okay.
Right? And he's a bounty hunter of aliens. But again, he works for himself. So his whole thing.
So he's like a vigilante, kind of, but like a futuristic, heartless.
But he like slays aliens. And what you can do with that, so you'd have like the two opposing forces to this guy would be, okay, first the aliens because he's killing people, but then also the humans because there's a risk of him that like ruining the. Well, I guess because the aliens are occupying Earth, so they could wipe us out at any point they wanted to. So
yeah, it's kind of like
so we are at the point of like almost like we could go extinct, but we don't want to go
his actions.
Yeah, because of his actions. But he doesn't care. Dude, he does not care. Okay,
so he has like this deep yet melodic and demanding voice, and he's just like, all right, well, I'm gonna need you to get out of my way.
Exactly.
Like he could like have it like run into people like in town because again everyone's like on lockdown, right? Because it's like what is that one movie, Red Dawn?
Yeah.
So like everything's like that. It's really down low on the D-low. Everyone's trying to survive and not get wrecked by the alien race that's contaminated humanity.
Yeah.
And so like people will see him and he just kind of like rides through the street on a two bicycle. That's all he has.
He has that and a stogie, dude. He doesn't even have weapons.
No weapons, dude.
No weapons.
He chooses to put himself in this situation, any situation with no weapons, but to use anything that he can in that situation to defeat whoever he's trying to defeat.
Yes. Okay.
Like he could like go like driving through the streets, like human could like look over at him because like they're nothing's people still live. So, someone could, like, be like, they could know who he is and be like, you need to stop what you're doing. You're going to cause extinction. And he just looks over, I don't give a shit.
Or, okay, since we're occupied, are there, like, aliens on the street corner with guns? Or no, how about they have, like, surveillance?
Okay.
So he's, like, riding on the street. And he just, like, it's like he just, like, flips off the cameras as he rides by.
Dude, okay, so he's heartless, right?
Yeah.
Let's just assume that his family was murdered.
Yeah, that's why he's become a cold-hearted human being, because the aliens murdered his family during their invasion.
Okay, cool. Right. And let's just say, the reason for his dressing, right? The big hat, he gets them every time he takes down like an alien ship, right? Wherever he is, he finds an ornament to keep on his body to remember that display of blad vastness.
So each murder scene of the aliens, he looks around to find like the best ornament or best piece of decor that he can put on his body.
Exactly.
That explains like all the chains that he has and like all that type of Yeah. Okay, I like that.
Okay,
so basically,
cool.
It's basically trophies.
Yeah, it's trophies.
But, like, and he just collected this like BA outfit.
And then the bike.
They don't allow cars. No cars.
Okay, so no one's allowed to drive around in cars. They take all the. Okay, that's a good point right there. Okay, the aliens are harvesting our fossil fuels.
Okay. Yeah.
In there. I don't know what reason yet, but
well, the aliens, they've scoured the universe for resources that they don't have access to on their own planet.
And gasoline.
And we have gasoline and fossil fuel on Earth. So that explains why there's no cars, because if we were allowed to have cars, we'd just be using their precious resource that they're trying to harvest.
Yeah, they're mining it from Earth, and they have all these high-tech drills that dig deep down into the Earth and pull all that fossil fuel out that we can't reach yet because we're not advanced of a civilization.
Yeah, and they've enslaved the human race to drill this.
Okay.
That's why they've even kept us alive in the first place.
Okay, see? Yeah. Everything's making sense.
Yeah,
okay, so human race is kept alive, but they enslave them, but there's still people on the outskirts that live outside of it.
Yes.
But that's why they have the surveillance system, to see if they can catch, like, people. They find the people, then they come and pick them up with ships. So he purposefully opening siege, dude. Driving like literally, it's like a big map painting wide shot. You see like drills and alien ships and stuff, and then them just pan down, and just to put him
down. Yeah,
and he's driving on his little bicycle, just just smoke.
Smoke trail from behind him on the bike. From his stogie.
Dude should just like stop at one of the surveillance stations. They should have like sectioned off surveillance stations where it's like a big pole and all these cameras pointed like 360 degrees around.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of harvesting fossil fuels, they could be like trimming down trees and stuff like that to kind of build structures in order to prop their drills on, or for humans to live in, as in like concentration camps.
Okay. How about this? Okay, so when they got to Earth, or they've decided to harvest this oil in segments of the Earth.
Okay.
Right? So basically they go to each town or each region, so region by region, and whenever they get to this region, they enslave the local people to harvest this fuel. So kind of the catalyst of our story is the aliens have reached this guy's region. Right?
Okay.
So he has gone out, he has traveled and gone out of his way maybe to these different, like, to regions that they're in, and try to, like, basically hit and run guerrilla style, like, bounty hunter, like, kill these aliens. But now they're coming to his house. They're coming to his house.
Yep.
Right? So he's about to have a field day with these guys. All right?
Like, he's been going out of his way, like, traveling across the world to kill aliens and hit another one and hit another region. And then, like, he gets word that his, like, people from his town, they're like somehow in communication with him, or like, they're setting up drills in the area and taking people out in the streets to mark them with a number for the slavery.
Yeah.
Slave trade. It's not really a trade, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so he drives 2,000 miles on his teal bike to get back to his hometown where they're now segmenting off.
Oh shoot. Okay. Because he needs to come to face to face with some sort of moral dilemma. Because if these aliens are just coming to Earth, harvesting all of our resources and enslaving the people, him killing aliens is completely justified.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we also, there needs to be some sort of moral dilemma. It's okay, he's killing aliens, but it may or may not be okay. What if there's human alien hybrids, right? And he's like screw them, they're part aliens, they're evil on the inside.
Yeah.
But then he has to at some point he comes to this moral dilemma because there's this hybrid human alien kid, right? And he's still, so he comes to a moral dilemma. Okay, he's a kid, and he has emotions, all the emotions of a human, but he's part alien. You know what I'm saying?
He's a kid. He has all human, but he's part alien.
But he's part alien. You know what I'm saying? Though?
Yeah.
He needs to have
there's some blurred lines on whether or not he really feels like he should go through.
He needs to have some sort of character arc.
Yeah.
Right. We just can't have him slaying aliens the whole movie.
Yeah, because that would just be like Transformers. Calling them out.
There it is. Transformers has been called out. Especially the latest one.
Especially the latest one, man, dude.
We don't say movies suck, but that one's really close to sucking.
So
what we have so far, we have this bounty hunter, this BA bounty hunter guy who has gone out of his way. Well, aliens have invaded. They are occupying Earth. They are harvesting our resources. Our main character, our protagonist, is this bounty hunter guy. Our bounty hunter guy, Blake. What are we gonna? What should be his name? Let's go with the character name real quick. It needs to be so freaking. It needs to be so cool. Okay, whatever. We'll come up with a character name later. But yeah, so our protagonist, he's gone out of his way to kill these aliens that have invaded Earth. But now, the inciting incident of the story, they're coming to his town to harvest these resources, right? And he is preparing for this alien genocide that is about to go down.
But he doesn't use guns, right? So what is he gonna do?
He could use guns.
He could.
Yeah.
Or
he needs to have an underground bunker. When the aliens invaded. Or he could have been a doomsday type of guy when this happened. So,
and that's why he's so pissed, because he was prepared, but yet they still killed his family.
Yeah.
So that drives him insane, because in a way he blames himself because he tried, but then it still didn't work at all.
Yeah, I like that.
So the theory is, the question is, what? Clearly this guy's killed a crap ton of aliens, right?
Yes, he is. He has killed many aliens. He has a lot of alien blood on his hands.
So I'm sure at this point he's in some amount knows what their weaknesses are.
Yeah.
If there are any.
Huh. Maybe their weakness. Maybe they have a bad sense of either sight or hearing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's their weakness. They don't have ears. That's their biggest weakness.
I was saying if they had really bad sight, you could just I don't know why, I just pictured a scene of him just riding his bike in between a lot of aliens and nobody sees what he's doing. Just pouring gasoline. And he just throws a stogie.
About to throw a curveball.
Okay.
What if he's not necessarily a bounty hunter yet, but he has this the aliens have still invaded, but the alien technology is so advanced that the aliens don't even have to be here. You see what I'm saying? Well, maybe they have a few people here, but like really, it's just like vessels coming back from planet to planet because their like technology allows them to go light speed. So his plan, he has plotted out that he and like the people of his village, like they've given them resources and stuff like that. He has plotted that he's going to steal one of these ships and go to their planet on a suicide mission to freaking kill as many as possible.
Okay, and since they're coming to his town, okay, so all these genocides where he's gone and killed, like they might have like a couple aliens in every ship.
Yeah,
or
but
whatever.
he hasn't. Like he's gotten a taste of that alien blood.
Yeah,
but he needs more.
because he's like saved segments of the Earth.
Yeah,
But technically, he's made it worse for them because they get like the information back and they just send like more and more guards to that segment.
Yeah.
But they were all like practice runs. They were all like him training, basically. Finding all the weaknesses, finding how to kill him, finding what he needs to do. And his ultimate goal, like, maybe he could have, like, tried to intercept, like, the computer and figure out, on board, and figure out more information about the whole alien race and what they do and where they live and who's in charge. And deciphered it, because he's a genius.
He is a genius. He's definitely a genius.
He's got the IQ of 250.
Yeah. I think okay. So I think when they come to the town, I think that kind of our first act, him in the town, they like come together and they like plot out how they, because he can't get on the alien ship alone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They've stacked guards and there's like so much like security that are on these vessels that he can't do it alone.
Yeah,
so
and
the town,
he can't just go in guns blazing
He
on a
can't- yeah,
vessel.
he
He has
can't-
to sneak his way back.
exactly. So he needs the help of the entire town. So they all go in on it, right? And I guess we can just explain his outfit because that's just what he wears. That's just what he freaking wears. And so, but why I suggest like bringing the whole town together. So when he goes onto the vessel, you know, he's like on his ventures to the other regions. He's already infiltrated or maybe like gotten close enough to these vessels to figure out how they work. Mm-hmm. So he's like done this like scientific. He's like done this science and math to figure out like how these work, and he already knows how to operate it. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe he's been on it before. But anyway, so when he goes on this vessel, he's like, all right, I'm ready. I'm going there. I'm going to breach. I'm going in guns blazing. Or he has like some sort of plan. But anyways, the point is like some kid sneaks onto the ship with him.
Ooh.
And kind of gives him a meaning, like because right now he's just a cold-blooded like, I'm getting revenge for my murdered family.
Yeah.
But like this kid like shows him, all right, there's more to life than just revenge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like instead of focusing on killing the people that killed your family, working on saving the people that are still left on Earth.
Yep.
And you going to this country going to this planet on a suicide mission is not going to do anything because he's selfish. Even the town's helping on him. They're like, we can do more. He's like, no, I must do this alone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
That's good.
Okay.
I like that a lot. So the question is, does he actually succeed at starting to leave the atmosphere before he realizes? Like, does he make a journey and then?
I think so, dude.
Okay. All right. So, like you said, he had some experience with flying a ship. I'm assuming at one of the segments he had gotten his hands on one purposefully because he's been calculating it. He's going to learn how to do it so he can go and blow them all up or something.
Yeah. And why he didn't just in those regions where he snuck on them, why he didn't just go then is because he had to like kind of figure out how.
Yeah.
But by the time he like kind of began to figure it out, they left the region. He basically retreated back, but he knew that they were going to come to his region soon, so he retreated, or he suspected it.
Yeah.
Because they've been moving like linearly.
Yeah.
Across like different regions. So he basically goes back to base, goes back to his underground bunker, figures out all this science and math that the
and it could be
aliens
like
have
a
figured out.
time rush.
It can be like
because
a time
it could
rush.
be
It's like a ticking clock.
He's been trying to get everything figured out because he wants to be ready, but his region is next.
Yes.
And he's like, this is my chance. I need to do it now. I need to rush, get everything figured out, get everything planned out, get all the he could make bombs and all sorts of weapons, getting weaponry
like under his
together.
trench coat, he just has weapons.
Yeah.
Just freaking just like pipe bombs and everything.
Yep. He could also have in his underground bunker at his house, he could have just gallons of gasoline.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, so like
Oh, that's another thing because they're drilling, right?
Yeah.
So he could go and like every time he takes out like an aerial transport for the gasoline from the drill, he like takes all this gasoline because he wants to like put it in, because these containers are in those ships, and he wants to load up a ship with the containers. And then at the last, like, his plan is, like, he's going in guns blazing. He's setting up all these bombs on, let's say, just, like, the mothership or the central most populated place on their planet.
Yeah.
But he wants to park that shuttle under the radar and set a timer in there to blow up that gasoline.
Yeah.
Maybe even in where they're keeping all the gasoline.
Yeah.
To set up even a bigger explosion to use what they're taking from Earth against them.
Yeah. I like that. So, there, yes, sir. So... Yeah, so he goes to this planet just bloodthirsty, like he doesn't even think about the bigger picture, like the broader human race. He just wants to get revenge on the people that have killed his family. So he's like, he has rejected, like he's let these people help him, but that's as far as he's willing to go with it, because he's like, it doesn't even matter. I'm just gonna kill as many as I can, basically.
Yeah.
But when he gets there, the kid helps him realize when he gets to the planet that there is a human race to save.
Yep.
You have to focus on saving instead of focusing on just bloodthirsty revenge murder, right? So while they're on that planet, he realizes this, right? And so while they're there, instead of just going in and killing all, he gathers vital information, and they end up bringing it back to Earth. And basically, we end it at some sort of area where he has the vital information, and he like tries to bring these people together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How they can get, like, so on the planet, he figures out the key to get the aliens off of Earth. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
But he would have never thought that if this kid wouldn't help him like realize kind of the meaning of like what life and humanity.
Yeah, and he has like this it could go into like this kid could like, because let's say the aliens look similar, humanoidistic kind of.
Yeah,
but a little bit
tell.
different. But the hybrids can look almost identical to a human, minus a couple of minor factors.
Yeah, we're getting into Blade Runner. Have you seen Blade Runner?
I have not.
Yeah, Blade Runner. There are certain, I guess they're aliens, and certain aliens, like, you can tell because they're not able to show emotion or certain emotions. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But there's these hybrid aliens that are able to show emotion, so you can't really tell them apart from humans. So it's kind of like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's good. And I was going to say, like, he could see his son in this alien. And that's why it's so hard for him. Not necessarily that... I mean, there is also, like, the human part. But again, he's selfish.
Yeah, he is.
What's the closest thing that could overthrow his selfishness? A memory so powerful to overthrow the revenge and make him realize that there are other kids like his that even have alien blood in them that aren't terrible people. That aren't...
So you're suggesting this kid has alien blood in him?
Yeah, he's a hybrid.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
That's what you meant by hybrid earlier, right?
Yeah. I just didn't know. I didn't know if this kid was gonna be part of, like, he was just like, he's still part of humanity. He's the town. This kid's just part of the town. He sneaks onto the ship with them, or is this kid like already with the you see what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Maybe we don't do the hybrids. Maybe just the aliens they're just bad. So because maybe his moral decision isn't necessarily with the aliens, but it's more of how to go about killing these aliens. Because you need to kill these aliens because they are bad. But you being selfish and vengeful is not helping the greater purpose. Pure human kid. Yeah.
Sneaks on with him.
Yeah.
And it could be like he could like look up to this guy in a way.
Yeah.
And then, like, at the beginning, you can kind of see when he returns back home, like, this kid...
Yeah, I was so sorry. I just thought in the opening scene, like, when he's, like, riding his bike, that kid's, like, running behind him.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, like, it's almost like Gandalf when, like, all the kids were, like, running behind him when, like, in the Fellowship of the Ring. He's basically, like, riding, but there's just, like, kid who's just, like, kind of running beside him, you know?
Yeah.
Like, this guy's so... this guy, he's completely intrigued by this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And... like, he knows, and again, this guy talks to the town, he's told the town his intentions, and this guy, kind of thinks of him as a superhero. He's like,
he's gonna kill the aliens.
Yeah.
He's gonna save humanity. But really, this guy's like, I'm just killing these aliens. I don't give a crap about anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, he sees him for what he wants to see in him, but he doesn't see that he's blinded by revenge necessarily.
He
so
sees him as he can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he sneaks on with him because he wants to follow his every adventure, his every move. And because he sneaks on there with him, he realizes that he still wants, he's still trying to kill it, but he knows that he can't go back. This is one shot.
Yeah, he can't go back. But also, this is a suicide mission.
Yeah.
But now it's not because a kid's on there with him. So it wouldn't only be a suicide mission for him, it'd be a suicide mission for the kid. And he's like,
Yep.
So it's like, well, do I kill this kid with me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't kill the kid. Even this guy knows you can't kill the kid.
Yeah, and he could... Dude, yes. Because then he's got to be like, what do I do?
Exactly.
And he's going to have so much confusion. Because again, his intentions are load up that thing with all the gasoline he can, take it back, park it in the middle of a gasoline, set up this big bomb explosion in the middle of their gasoline farm on the other planet, leave, have it set on a timer, go in as much as he can into the actual residing areas of the aliens, kill them as many as they can, and then the timer's going to blow up.
Exactly.
But now he can't do that.
He can't do that. There's someone with him, and the whole again, and this kid needs kind of with his innocence, kind of inject humanity back into this guy. So he's like, this guy's like, well, I'm killing all the aliens, like blah 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 blah, and he's like, well, what about mom and daddy back home? And then he's just he's like, oh shit. He's just like, Steve kid.
Just like, oh,
shut up.
Just like he can't. Because it's going to take time for him, I guess, because, he really doesn't know it. He's going to be so pissed.
Yeah.
He's going to be literally so angry immediately. And you know what? He should try to send him back on an escape pod.
Yeah.
And, he tries to do that, and then, somehow the kid gets out of it. I don't know how that would work. But
no. What you would do is he's about to send this kid off in the escape pod, right?
Yeah.
But then something goes wrong. There's a countdown or something, and he knows it's about to go wrong, so he has to save this kid. From the escape pod.
Okay, I see. All right, it could be he could put him in there, calculate it, send it to a certain spot, and it's counting down.
It's bye kid.
He's like, bye kid, carry on the legend. Something motivational, and then all of a sudden it's you just hear. And then there's a crack in the screen on the other side.
Yeah.
And it's aerial pressure rising, and it's fracture imminent, and he's and it starts cracking more. And he's like, oh, he just gets so angry, and then he has to find a way to ooh crap, oh, just imagine a dope scene. Okay, so he goes and he looks over. He's looking around for stuff, and he remembers that these extraterrestrials have these suits, right? They're jetpack, allows you to exit and go into space, because that is something that aliens would have.
Yes,
I mean,
they're aliens.
Yeah.
So
and it's if someone needs to go out in space and do maintenance on the craft or something like that, they have these maintenance suits.
Yeah.
So he takes one of those, not knowing how to use it because he's never experienced it, but since he's so intelligent and he's worked with it before, he tries to figure it out, and he has it says 3 minutes, and he has 3 minutes left, right? So he goes to the side of the craft, ejects another escape pod, forces closes off that segment, forces open the door, jumps out the spacecraft, goes back to the bottom, and somehow manages to snag the kid, right?
Yes.
And bring him back in that way.
That's very good.
But he doesn't have a suit, right?
Yeah.
But you can survive in space. It's just a vacuum. You just can't breathe. But it could be super intense, and the kid could be nigh on to death. You know what I'm saying?
And he has the stogie in his mouth the entire time. That's gonna be the ongoing gag he has in his mouth the entire movie.
He's just in the suit, and it's touching the glass in the suit. It just fills it up.
It's how much is fog? He can't even see anything.
But I still
Going in blind.
He's like,
Stogie, no stogie. Well, if I've got a chance of dying, I'm going out with a stogie, even if I can't see.
He's got to have the best punchline. He's like, well, I guess I'm about to get smoked.
you should do that. You should just have like these one-liners.
Yeah,
that
the
are
one-liners.
so terrible.
It's just like at the right times though, because it's not like a completely comedic movie, but just like at the right times.
It could be like Deadpool.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, that would be one scene, and that could be like almost like his realization that there's no way. They only have like two escape pods, right? And he just sent one out, and that one's malfunctioned.
Exactly.
So he has no way after this to bring this kid back, and he doesn't trust putting him in a suit and trying to figure out how to operate that.
Yeah, and now the kid. Okay, now I would say now like the kid at first was like fascinated by him, but now this kid like looks up to him, like loves this guy.
Yeah.
Right. There's like this kid has this like connection, and our protagonist, this guy, he has not felt loved since his family died. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is like the first love he has felt. So it's like his heart is just growing slightly.
Like the Grinch.
Yeah, like the
His
Grinch.
heart grew 10 sizes that day. What was it?
I can't remember. But yeah, exactly. It's just like, well, he's starting to feel love for somebody.
Yeah.
Other than just hatred for all beings.
Yeah.
Or at least all aliens.
And he's starting to, his judgment is becoming less and less clouded.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then he's kind of in a predicament, and then he's like, well, dadgummit. And he's just sitting there with the kid, just, damn it, kid. Why? And then the kid's just like, you saved me. He's like, I kind of wish I wouldn't have.
He's a jerk to this kid.
Yeah.
He's a freaking jerk. He puts his kid down constantly.
That's an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
Because you have like this. That's actually pretty like a classic. You know, like a kid that looks up to somebody, and the dude's just a d-bag to the kid. You know, like have you ever seen Iron Man 3?
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
the
yeah.
kid that follows Tony Stark, and he's just like, I'm cold, and then he's like,
Yeah.
that's too bad, or whatever. That just like drives off.
Oh, and then there could be one scene while they're in the spaceship or something. Like the kid like finds a guy's stash of stogies. And so he doesn't have it lit, but like the guy finds him and the kid just like has it sticking out of his mouth because he's trying to be like him.
And he's just like, that's my 1949. Ah!
He's like, why do you have my stogie? And he's like, that's one of Churchill's actual cigars. It's kept preserved in a museum for 500.
No, what would that be at that point? That'd be like 1,000 years, right?
No.
Because it's 555 years in the future. What did we decide? Or is it just 500 years?
It's 500 years. So it'd be
So
like so it'd be like 500 and 530 years? No.
Okay,
No.
what year was Churchill?
I mean, he was prime minister during World War II.
Yeah.
So from let's just say 1939
To
2008.
2,518.
Well, let's go to 2018. So 39.
I can't math, dude.
80 years, right? No.
Okay.
Oh, it's like 580 years.
Okay,
or
let's
something
just
like
say
that.
600 years, right?
Yeah.
So a 600-year-old stogie
Yeah.
that this kid just chomped down on. And it's literally Churchill's actual last stogie that was been preserved in a museum. And this guy's like super serious about this. He was
Yeah.
going to light it when he went into this planet, right?
Yeah,
It's
dude, he was
that
gonna
one.
go out with that stogie blazing in his mouth.
Dude.
He's like, I'm gonna die with that stogie in my mouth. And he's like, why do you have my stogie? And the kid's like, I just want to be like you. And he's like, there's like a dramatic like 5-second pause. He's like, well, give me that. He like, snatches out of his mouth, but something inside of him was like,
Yeah, kind of pauses.
It's just like, this kid wants to be like me. Why?
Yeah, he doesn't understand it.
doesn't understand.
It's like, I'm a bloodthirsty human being.
He's like, and he almost has like a weird like questioning the kid. Like he's just like, what do you see in me
Yeah,
that I
yeah.
don't? You know?
All right. So I think we have our general story.
Yep.
Let's figure out these details. All right. So in what way does the town need to come together? Do they form some sort of distraction as he, or maybe some sort of revolt? But then if they did some sort of revolt, the aliens would just kill them.
I think, okay, so let's say that when they segment this off, they have like 8 drop points, right? 8 drills in each segment. And it's kind of like 1, 2, and then south of those 2, directly south, a couple hundred miles maybe, or something like that, 1, 2. And then in the very middle of all 4 is another one. So it kind of gets a pretty drastic drill ratio. So 5 ships, right, get sent down to collect that oil once it's done and come back up. And then, so what they could do is he could be going to one of those drill points, and the rest of the town could be going to another drill point to cause some sort of distraction to where he can sneak on the other ship, right? But they need to make such a big distraction that they're too focused on the ship that's leaving that distraction area because they think they're trying to get on that ship, that they're not paying attention to him getting on the other ship, and he like kills the aliens on the other ship before they can actually like alert anybody else.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I like that. How does the kid follow him and he not notice?
That is another thing that we must.
Does he like pack some sort of like bag? And the kid like sneaks on the bag? Or like,
you know, he could go. What's the best way? Let's say this dude travels by boat.
Okay.
From his town.
Where are we geographically?
I have no clue. Let's just say that there's a river. Okay, let's say that all drill points are near rivers, right?
Okay.
Or it doesn't have to be, but this specific drill point, and this is the reason he chose this drill point, because there's a river that runs through the middle of it, right?
Yeah.
And then
and the aliens, they cannot be near water.
Okay, that's a weakness. They can't be near water.
They cannot be near water.
There's a fence that the aliens build around these drill points, right? But a river goes straight under the fence, and it's like really tight squeeze. So he has like this big boat, well, not too big of a boat, but like a pontoon or something that has like a secret compartment that he, like when everyone heads out, he gets in that boat and the kid follows him on there while he's packing. And then he kind of goes, and then he like gets to that bridge and then like that wall, and then either swims under or like completely can fit under it, depending on how the geography of the scene would look. But then the kid comes out and follows him.
Okay, from this boat.
Yeah,
okay,
and then he could find himself like breaking in and killing them, and like we could even introduce him while it's already too late for him to turn back, but at the same time the aliens aren't necessarily dead yet. Like they could take off, and then like the aliens, he could know kind of the protocol. The aliens say, okay, you know, in whatever alien language or English, I don't know how the world works at this point.
Yeah, just use your imagination what these aliens look like.
I hadn't even thought about it. I kind of picture them with like several eyes.
Okay.
For some reason, like really big dome-shaped heads that kind of have a point on the top, facing backwards, kind of like a big dragon or like a dinosaur scale like back. They kind of points up
cool.
in the tail.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like taller. They're like 6'5". Their muscle to fat ratio is out of this world. Like probably like 350 to 400 pounds, like 5% body fat. Every single last one of them. So
it's like that. It was like a short film that Oats Studio did. Do you remember that when they had like that close up of that? Yeah. Yeah, if you guys are watching this, go see Oats Studio and just find that video.
It's fantastic.
But that's pretty much exactly what Ethan's describing.
It's similar to that, but they have
what
like
I'm picturing.
More domed faces instead of those alligator-looking things.
Yeah.
More like a dome face that kind of comes down, but also has that scale up.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
And it's more like it's kind of a human-shaped skull.
Okay.
But bigger and not human. Skin, I was thinking some slimy, kind of greenish, kind of cliche, but not necessarily green, more like a dark, luminescent shininess. to it, you know. But they're yoked.
They are yoked. Yeah, the slime like keeps them hydrated because
Yeah.
they're not allowed to be near water.
See,
You know what I'm
their ecosystem operates off of a different type of liquid, and it's not H2O.
saying? Yeah.
It's like some different alien water system, but they're like, instead of like humans, they sweat, right? But
Yeah, that's why
they
have
don't
this-
really
yeah.
sweat. They're like, it just stays on their skin.
Exactly.
Unless they're sick, in which they're dry. That's a pointless thing to say, but if we're coming up with the anatomy, it makes sense.
Hey, yeah, man. We're just creating these beings from scratch, so it's fine. All right. So that's what the aliens look like.
Heck
now
yeah.
that that is established, that's really cool. All right, so
Also-
what if like from the like in the very beginning, the guy like also has to save. He has to save the kid like twice,
Yeah.
and like, each time he saves him, like there's a different. Like he becomes like more and more like he's getting his humanity back with each one. So like the first time when he like sneaks onto the ship, he just like freaking just destroyed all these aliens. He just killed them all. He just went on guns blazing, like just slayed them. Like he's ready to take off. But as he's in the ship, he looks out the window and he sees this kid sprinting as fast as he can.
Ooh.
Let's make her a little girl. This little girl, she comes sprinting as fast as she can towards like the ramp, like the entry like ramp of this. But then an alien like comes out of nowhere, and instead of like killing her, like the aliens are still like trying to like get a grip on what humans like
Yeah.
like what like the anatomy of these creatures. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, well, no, I guess if he was in distress, he wouldn't like do her for research or whatever. But like he's about like she's in danger from this alien who's like coming at her.
Yeah.
And he has to like go out and like save her. You know what I'm saying? Like right off the bat. But he'd already like initiated a launch sequence. So then they
Okay.
have to like run back in, and he has to take her with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like he didn't even have time to really think about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then so that implies that like there's still humanity like deep down within him. He just hasn't realized it yet because
Yeah.
he's willing to just go out and like rescue this little girl
Yeah.
and bring her on the ship for her safety. Even though afterwards he's like, damn it, why'd I do that?
Yeah. Like he makes a mistake. He could not even. We could like. This alien could have had. Let's say it's easier to take out the aliens, and it's incredibly hard to take them out if they know you're there, because they
Yeah.
have like this weird defense system. Maybe. Well, my voice. Sorry. Okay, so they have like this defense mechanism to where they can pretty much keep you at bay. If you're in front of them, they can keep you back with their eyes, right?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something like that. They have this kind of impulse. It's like a muscle demobilizer built in with them that they can control. Well, I don't know if it was this technical, but water-based muscles. And they can basically paralyze you and keep you from moving and lock you up if they're looking at you. But if they're not looking at you, it's easier to take them out. So he has to.
So that means they have a very keen eyesight, but their hearing is trash.
Yeah.
Their hearing is they cannot hear basically anything. So that's kind of their weakness. They can water and then their sense of hearing.
Yep.
Because they can't hear you coming, but if they see you, you will not get near them.
Yeah, precisely. And so he has to like go out, right, and save this girl from the alien. Let's say the alien doesn't know he's there, but he like has to sneak up on it as he's like dragging her and then catch her, right? And then he's running as fast as he can because he knows if that thing looks at him, he's screwed.
Yeah.
And like right, that's why he's trying to get back on the ship as much as he can. And then like right as he gets there, like it shows kind of his power, kind of a BA scene. Like it looks at him and like he catches his eyes and it just and like freezes him right at the door and he's locked together and he can't move. But he starts like he's
already gotten the girl.
Yes.
Okay. When he gets the girl, she could be locked in place.
Yeah.
And the alien's just like moving towards her, so he has to go out, run out, and then so that's why the alien doesn't focus on him. He like blows its head off, and then he just has to save the kid. Okay, yeah.
That'd be cool.
Where you were.
So wait. So did you say he killed him?
Yeah, he killed that. There could be another alien.
Okay. That's all I'm saying. All right. So another alien. There's like two, but one comes running out of the woods. Let's say they're at the drill post. Those are the drill post aliens that are coming. That's where they're coming from because they basically saw the little girl and are like, "What the heck are you doing?" So the other alien can catch him right at the end. And, like, freezes him, and you can see him. And, like, in this moment, in this scene, like, it kind of... We haven't heard much about his family, but he's having these flashbacks of his family. And, like, he slowly looks down, and this could be, like, you know, he's pulsating and shaking. He looks down and he sees the little girl frozen.
When he's having the flashback, like he sees his family, then it sees the little girl, and then we like opacity fade in, like as he looks down to that girl.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. He sees like his family in this girl, and he's like, when he looks at the girl and thinks about his family, he's like, I'm not about to let me and her die. So he's like, he puts in all his effort and lets out the most bad last scream, just...
Dude, okay. Oh, sorry, keep going.
Oh, what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say, this kind of, like, deflates that idea, but this could, like, be cool for other things. Why he wears those reflector sunglasses is because they when they look at, instead of, like, looking into his eyes and freezing him, the aliens, they look at themselves and freeze themselves.
Okay, he could use that in this situation.
He could, yeah.
So let's say... He's got to find a way to break the eye contact between him through the mirror and the alien, right?
Yeah.
So he could be screaming in agonizing pain, but his willpower, like let's say there's something, like maybe there's something he's got to put in front of his face to reflect it back at the alien, or at least break that eyesight line. And so we would have to figure out that.
It would still freeze him too, because alien's still looking at his eyes, so it would freeze both of them.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Crap.
It would freeze both of them.
Dude, what if like, oh my gosh, what if, okay, so like he like can put them on, so it freezes both of them, right?
Yeah.
And he's like trying to move, but he can't, and the little girl, so they're both frozen, right? It's just him and the alien. They would stay there for hours, but he's just screaming, and he's like, you're gonna have to, well, I guess he wouldn't be able to talk. He would only be able to scream.
Well, she's a smart girl. She's observed different
Yeah, that's
things,
true.
Right?
So she could show
Do
how
these aliens have balls?
What does that
I was gonna say she like goes up and kicks alien in the balls or
That's
something.
true. I mean, they could, yeah.
No, keep going.
But she like views how he has taken care of these aliens before in the past.
Yeah.
And is like, I've got to do something. Now I have a chance to be like him, you know? And so, like, he saves her, and then she saves him.
Yes.
And then let's say after the paralysis, you have a temporary muscle, like, you can't move, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
So she, like, uses something to flip him over and roll him in the door, and then shuts the door and sits down, and that's why he can't stop the countdown. He was just trying to get in there and stop it and then bring her back, but because she shuts the door and it takes off while he's in this temporary state of paralysis, he can't do anything about it.
Yeah, it's true. Okay.
So now we figured that out.
We have figured that out. That is cool.
That is so cool, dude. I'm seeing this in my mind.
I'm seeing this in my mind, dude. This is awesome. So, all right. So let's establish a little bit more about. Okay, let's establish, because these are our two main characters. Let's establish a little bit more about both of them. So, our main guy, our protagonist, I guess we have his character figured out pretty well.
Yeah.
From what I mean,
honestly, yeah, pretty well.
Yeah, that's what. But okay, so who's this little girl?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about earlier. Clearly, I mean, for her parents to not be like, you know, all over keeping her from, I don't know, sneaking into this guy's boat, going on a suicide mission. There has to be something going on there.
Maybe her parents are like completely submitted to the aliens.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, they are so terrified, they're not willing to do like anything other than what the aliens say.
Oh, and her parents could be like the only two people in this town that don't agree with what he's doing, but their daughter does.
Yeah, and like she, like, from being so, I mean, it's kind of like children. It's like a metaphor for children these days. Like, the parents have shoved their views like so far down her throat that she ends up thinking the opposite. And basically, this guy is the epitome of what the opposite of what her parents think.
Exactly.
So it's almost like she's about to be a teenager. It's almost like teenage rebellion, but also she knows that what is going on Earth is not right.
Yeah.
This is not right, and something needs to be done. And this guy is really the only one. This guy is like the catalyst for change.
Mm-hmm.
The only possibility for change.
But she knows the only way he will cause change in humanity, she has to first change him.
Yes.
My gosh.
I don't know if she knows that though, since she's a little
Yeah.
kid.
Well, I mean, you said 13.
Yeah.
But she didn't go there with the intention of changing him or anything like that.
No. But that's what.
But that's what's happening.
She
in
just
the story.
knows. Yeah, she just knows that this guy is super intriguing, and she knows that, and she believes in this guy.
Yeah.
Because everyone they believe in him, but they're like, okay, this guy's like freaking crazy because he's going on a suicide mission.
Yeah, he's psychotic.
Yeah, he's a psychopath. But they're like, okay, like screw these alien guys. If he wants to kill them, then we'll do what we can to help him out.
Yeah.
You know, and like they're like think maybe like so I don't know. They know that something needs to happen because they're tired of being enslaved.
Yeah, and nobody's standing up for anything except for him.
Yeah, exactly.
So you might as well at least like do what he says because he's pretty much taken control over the human race at this point. It's in his hands. There's nobody else that's standing up for human rights, but he's doing it out of blind bloodlust.
Yes, he's doing it. Yeah, he's doing it for all the wrong reasons, but he's the only one willing to actually do something.
Exactly.
And she feels like with inside her that she needs to do something like
as well.
As well. And she wants to, and also like it's kind of she finds I guess she's slightly less full of like heroic factor too. Like she also like kind of wants to be a hero.
Yeah.
Because she's heard stories from the past, like, you know, because these people don't have TV or anything anymore. Basically, all they can tell is stories, and she's heard from other people in the town like the stories, like the heroics that people have done throughout history. Mm-hmm. And she's like, "There's none of that anymore. This guy's the closest thing to a hero."
Yep.
And I want to be like that too. You see
Yep.
what I'm saying? So
That
that's
makes
why.
sense.
That's kind of why she goes on at first. Her intrigue and her almost like, I guess, need to be heroic or
yeah,
like, yeah,
and her obsession with him too.
Yes.
And what he does. And her blindness to the fact that even though she's changing him, she doesn't really even see that she's changing him.
Yeah.
But it ends up to where he sees it.
And
he
changes her in some ways as well.
So it's kind of like a double way.
It is kind of like a double way. She needs to have
Okay, she needs to reel him back. And then at a certain point when he ends up reeling her back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Or maybe she's never killed an alien before.
Yeah.
Right? And so at like, I guess when they're on the planet or something, she's instilled within him like, okay, like killing these people out of just bloodthirst is not, like he's realized through her that that's not the way to go. But then when she's in a situation where she can kill an alien, she has, like, maybe the guy, like, he either gave her a gun or she, like, got a hold of a gun or something. She has an alien at gunpoint. But the alien's, like, completely defenseless at this point. There's no real reason.
Cuts out his eyes.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Cuts out the alien's eyes. Then he'd be defenseless. He couldn't keep you from doing anything.
Yeah, maybe the guy, like, yeah, something happened with his eyes. So this alien's
gets burnt or something.
Yeah. So this alien's like defenseless in some sort of way, and so they like have to go back on the ship. You know what I'm saying? There's a ticking clock. They have to go back on the ship, but she has this alien at gunpoint. There's no real reason to kill this alien at one point. She's about to pull the trigger, and he's like, think about what you're gonna do, kid. You don't want to end up like a bloodthirsty maniac like me, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? He has to reel her back in.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like a double way. One reels the other one back in at the beginning and slowly throughout, and then at the end he reels her back.
Yeah.
After and then his objective. I mean, he kind of realizes that when he tries to send her back and it doesn't work, and then he has to go there. So he goes there and gets information. Right. That's what he goes to do.
Yeah, oh no, he's like at the end he's like, you want to be a hero, kid? Fight for good, not evil. Something like that. Oh no, like fight for purity. Something like that.
And then, she has no real reason to kill.
Yeah.
And so she ends up not. Now, then they go back, right?
Yeah.
But I have no clue what they get when they're there.
I don't know what they get when they're there either. It can either be, maybe they find this alien's kryptonite or something.
Mm-hmm.
But then they wouldn't have their kryptonite on their own planet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe maybe they would, but this planet, like the alien planet, has enslaved its own people as well. You see what I'm saying? And or maybe they're at war with themselves. Like just like
a
humans
civil
have
war.
Maybe humans have wars, like humans have wars, these aliens have wars within their own planet, and it's like almost like nuclear warfare for Earth. It's like oh, once that pact is broken on Earth where we start using nukes and it's over. Well, on their planet, they're like in self-destruction, which is also why they're reaching out to other planets. That's why they've expanded beyond, because they've started dropping their version of nukes, basically. And we find out but theirs is like some sort of like mineral or material or something
some sort of bio warfare that only affects them.
Yeah,
because
it's some sort of water or something like that. Maybe it doesn't have to be water. It could be way more cool than that, but
it could be something ridiculous that can be released in the air, or something that doesn't affect humans.
Yeah.
Because they land right in the middle of it and they're okay. And then they come to realize this and they're like, we can use this against them on our own planet.
Exactly.
And it's something relatively simple that we can all do as individuals on Earth.
Yeah, exactly.
To start promoting this to happen. And then our planet will be inhabitable to them. Then they can't even come here.
Yes. Exactly.
So that's the information they achieve, and they don't even go there with the intent on achieving that. He doesn't even know what they're going to do.
Discover that.
Exactly.
Okay. That we can definitely work with that. That's good. We just got to kind of find out what that is.
Yep. Okay.
Maybe it's not necessarily something. Maybe it's not necessarily water, but maybe it's something like within the murky water of the river or something like that. Some sort of like. Maybe it's like. No, I'm not going to say pesticides, because you know how pesticides like from farms leak into rivers or something like that.
Yeah.
But something like that is like infiltrated, because rivers aren't just water. There's other things within them.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like something like that. You know, yeah, something like that.
We could go the water route, but here's a backup in case we can't find anything that makes sense. Some sort of wave, radio wave of some sorts, or radar or something that is detrimental to the physical makeup of the aliens, or maybe their mind. If it comes in contact with their brain, basically turns them into brain dead, kills their brain, right? Because it's not a human brain, it's some sort of weird alienistic something. And this is just a backup plan if we can't get the water thing to work. Like, the way that they could implement it on Earth is if he goes and finds, like, basically gets control of satellites, television places that used to operate. Because let's say the first thing that the aliens did was wipe out communications on Earth because they knew that's their weakness.
Yeah.
And then if he could find a way to not only activate it, but permanently create a force field of radio waves permeating of some sort at a certain frequency around the Earth to where it would fry all the brain cells of that said alien.
Okay.
That's one thing.
And they're like, bad hearing can be like an evolutionary like adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because like these their ears are sensitive to certain type of waves, and it like damages their like brain cells or whatever.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of exactly. That's like an adaptation that they develop over time. Their bad hearing, but the radio waves still penetrate it.
Yeah.
They still penetrate. Yeah, okay. I like that. So so when they're on this, okay, yeah. Okay. I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, that was just an idea I had because I was like, water's going to be difficult because it's like, how are you going to implement water everywhere?
Wait, why did we even come up with I think that was my idea. Why did we even come up with water as a weakness to begin with?
I don't know.
I don't either. It doesn't have to be a weakness. I just don't want to give them like too many weaknesses because these aliens need to be powerful forces.
Yeah, so I think that water's fine.
It's because they need a reason to for transportation to the
but I mean, it could just be that there was a river that just went under it.
Yeah, it's just logistical.
It's just there.
Yeah.
And then that was his way in to get under the bridge.
I got you.
Or under the fence or whatever.
Okay.
That he had mapped out. But yeah, but then the question is, how in the heck is he going to resurrect all satellites and emitters and, turn back on the system? And then So he's basically got to team up with all sorts of scientists and mechanical engineers and electrical engineers.
We don't have to explain that in that movie. That's almost a room for a sequel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We don't have to. We can end the movie really with
an open-ended question.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of
because they get back to Earth and he has this information. He's a changed man. It's like he has the means to save humanity.
And then he sets out on his little bicycle.
Rides up to the sunset to like some like scientific research lab that's like still in operations or something like that. And you just rides to them.
The last scene could be him traveling. It could he could return to Earth, right? And then there's like a last scene. He walks into some underground tavern, and he sits down and puts a mug on the table, and he's like, "Give me the hardest crap you got." And he pours it in there. He's like, "You Jeff Stone?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I've heard some things about you.
We need to talk.
Where can I find this man?" Pops it on the table, and it's like a scientist or something. Kind of end it in that way.
But when he gets back, we show a scene of him riding to the tavern or something. But now there's a tandem bicycle, and the kids with him on the back.
That's awesome. The kids now they're like a team.
Yeah, now they're like a team. Oh. She's level-headed and kind of the good conscience with him, but he's still
hard as
he's
crap.
still hard. He changes, but not that much.
Yeah, not that.
He still wants that alien.
He
blood.
when he puts the mug on the table, the little girl sits down and puts the mug on the table and looks at him all BA.
Oh, dude, it's so cute.
Young.
That's really cute.
Yeah,
I like that,
dude. What did we just create?
I don't know, but I like it.
I like it too.
Oh my gosh.
That's incredible.
So, okay. So let's try to fit this into a 5-act structure. So, first act, basically, he teams up with the townspeople, right?
Yep.
And he teams up with the townspeople, and they create this plan. And he goes and he gets on this alien spaceship, and he has to save this little girl because she's been caught by the eyes of the alien, right? So he has to kill that alien, so he grabs her, and then when they're about to go up, then an alien catches his eyes, but the reflection of his sunglasses also freezes the alien. So the little girl... Wait, no, so he has flashbacks of his family, right? And so then he has to look to the little girl, and then the opacity fade right on her, symbolizing basically maybe that's she's basically going to be his future daughter.
Yeah.
Because she's going to follow him around everywhere. So
yep.
Basically they go into the spaceship and they take off. That's basically our act 1, right? Act 2.
Well, and before they go in there is when she goes and has to take things in her own hands to save him, and then puts him in there and he's paralyzed. Then they go in the spaceship.
Yes. Okay, so I think really the thing that we need to fill in is what all happens on the spaceship.
Yeah.
Right? This is where the main transforming. Well, this is where it's kind of the slow transforming is going to happen.
Yeah.
I think we need to fill that out just a little bit more. I think maybe it might be kind of cool. He has alien prisoners.
Yeah.
On the spaceship as well. They're locked in the back or something. Because maybe he's maybe I get some information out of them or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that could be an interesting thing.
It could be an interesting dynamic because they could be young ones.
Oh yeah.
They could be young aliens.
There are kid aliens.
There are. They're not all beefy man buns.
They're not all beefy man buns.
Sorry, that's what I refer to myself when I have long hair. But yes, they're not all beefy man grabbers. I don't know. There are some young ones, so that could be a little bit of a thing to play with there.
Yeah. Okay. I think basically on the spaceship is going to be our act 2.
Yeah. Oh, he could put them in one of the pods, right? Oh, that's a weird thing to think about.
What?
Putting the babies on the pods and then having to eject that pod because could be his hostage. He was going to go there with hostages too, just in case, in his back pocket, right? But then he has to eject that pod to get out to save her on the outside of the ship.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
That could be something that happens. Doesn't
Okay.
have to be, but just an idea.
Okay, what's our little girl's name?
Sophie?
Yeah, we can use Sophie. Sophie. Yeah, just Sophie.
It's just a cute little Sophie name.
Sophie Fitzgerald. That is
Sophie Fitzgerald.
Sophie
All right.
Fitzgerald. All right. And then we still have not come up with a name for our guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he should go by a title.
Yeah.
He should go kind of like the Doctor, mysterious, you know? Nobody knows his real name, really. Or at least maybe some do, but they don't speak it because he doesn't like it. He wants to be called something else.
He's like, the mechanic. I'm going to fix this mess.
Hey, the mechanic, dude.
The mechanic.
I mean, he could, because he could say that. He could be like, who are you? Like, if somebody ever asked him, who are you? Just, I'm the mechanic, and I'm going to fix this mess.
Yeah. But he doesn't really want to fix it.
He doesn't really want to fix it, yeah, so that kind of... He could just call himself Man.
It's just Man.
I am Man. Kind of symbolizing he's the only man standing up for mankind.
Yeah. Okay.
The Man. That could be the title of the film. The Man.
Just the Man. All right. Okay. Yeah. The Man. All right.
He introduces himself as Man. Hello, I'm Man. Nice to meet you. And then he
With
can...
two A's.
Yeah, with two A's. And then when he talks to aliens, before he kills them, he, like, looks somehow... He can't look them in the eyes, but maybe he can pluck out his eyes and then, like, get really close to their ear and say, I'm Man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kind of like as a revenge thing.
He just, like, says that and just, like, title slam.
I am Man. Oh my god.
But that wouldn't be till later in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
The aliens could also have technology to where they could, like, speak English. They could have, like, translators built into their, like, gear that they wear to be able to communicate to humans to tell them what to do.
Dude, I don't even think they should be able to. I think there should just be like a huge freaking disconnect, and
I mean, they
just solely use force.
That could be a thing as well. He could just blindly talk to him and be like, I don't know if you understand me, but I am Man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he does. Yeah, he doesn't even negotiate with them at all. He just like it's just like a statement.
Yeah.
Like, I am Man.
Talking, like, face to face with an alien that he has no clue if or if not he can understand what he's saying. Because there's that language barrier.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
All right, cool. On the ship, I guess she basically needs to ask. I think she should be one of those children that asks a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Ones that you would never actually ask yourself. Like,
Yeah.
if you were going through life. But she's, like, basically that conscious, like, that's always, like, questioning things that he does. And sometimes he doesn't have an answer for it. He's just like, shut up, kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, so, I think he should have, like, those, No, okay, how those aliens get on the other pod, he's gonna kill them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's gonna go back there, and she basically, like, questions him and, like, kind of almost, like, talks him out of, like, why, like, but they're kids. Like, they're alien kids. She's like, but they can't do anything. Like something like that. And he's like fine. Like, she, like, finally convinces, like, fine. I'm just gonna put these aliens in the pod and send them off. And so that's basically how they get in the pod or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess they wouldn't have that, like, ability to freeze you. They haven't developed the ability to freeze you yet when they're children.
Or it could just be one solo alien
Yeah.
that's dying. There's so many things we could do with that.
Or it could be like an injured alien.
Yeah.
That's, like, in the, like, he's in the back, and she's like, and, like, he's like screaming and suffering, like alien, like synthetic, like, alien type noises.
Yeah.
And she's like, and then she's like, but he's hurt, and he's like let him suffer.
Yeah.
He does not care. Like, he just wants these aliens to be in as much pain as possible, basically. And she's like, I don't know, but would she want him to kill the alien?
I mean, she could just be like, you need to put that thing out of its misery.
Yeah.
It's like, well, he deserves to suffer. It's like, he might deserve to die, but nothing deserves to suffer. Oh my gosh.
There it is. All right.
There it is. That way, it's kind of like pulling him back, but it's also at the same time, it's not like she's like, yeah, let's treat his wounds.
She needs to be really smart. She needs to be like I guess a backstory for her. Her nose is like always in a book.
Yeah.
Too, and that's also how she's like got these stories from the heroic. She like reads like old comic books and like old stories. You know what I'm saying? And she's very advanced for her age because there's nothing on Earth to do.
No.
You know what I'm saying? There's nothing on Earth, so
No,
she just educates herself.
That's good.
That is
She
good.
could have like all these awesome books.
Yeah,
she, like,
exactly.
reads. And then that opens up for opportunities for when they are going to the planet, her like talking about certain books and saying like comparing him to one of her favorite superheroes and stuff, which it kind of alludes to, you know, her being obsessed with him because of his heroic nature.
Yeah. Okay.
But at the end, she could be like, you're no longer like him, you're like him. And it's like a completely different superhero that is known for standing for what's right. For instance, like, what's a superhero that necessarily, like, just for an example, wouldn't be this, but like going from Deadpool to Captain America.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Like at the beginning, she compares him to Deadpool. Not really,
He'd be more like Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would be more like Batman. It would be like a Batman to Superman.
Yeah, because Batman's not. I mean, he's not technically a superhero, but he's heroic.
Yeah, he's like an anti-hero, right? Isn't that what
No, he's not
called?
technically an anti-hero. He's just.
Well,
like,
no. Speaking of Deadpool's like an anti-hero.
yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
but Batman's more just a vigilante.
Yeah.
But he like operates above the law.
Exactly.
That stuff would probably happen on the ship.
Yes.
And then there'd be like an in-between. There needs to be some sort of something that goes wrong on the ship. Oh, well, we already had that.
Yeah, we have that.
That's him trying to send her back.
Mm. We sketchily have the interior of the ship figured out.
Yep.
So when they land on the planet.
Okay, so it could just be like a wasteland where they land. Because he could put it in his own hands. And he could like use the machine to detect where the least amount of life forms are. And he finds like these portions of areas that are filled with no life signs of alien. But he doesn't understand why. Now he kind of like roughly has to put together what's going on their planet, and he notices that it's like civil war, like, you know, the equivalent of nuclear war on Earth. So he tries to figure out what is in these little portions of no one existing, and he monitors it runs all these different filters to try to find radiation, different stuff, but then he's like, maybe it's not the same thing as humans. Maybe it's something that, so he broadens the spectrum, and then he finds out that the only thing that he can find in these places is like that certain frequency of bandwidth or some sort
what
of
he needs to do,
wavelength.
he needs to be like almost like a thing of his. He's like from the beginning, he's almost like obsessed. Like he's convinced. He's baffled why they can't, like why the radios stopped working. So he has a radio, like a pocket radio with him, like constantly, because he's trying to he's trying to still communicate with other regions. Well, then again, he doesn't really care that much. You know what I'm saying?
But it's something that he noticed.
Yeah, it's something that he noticed, and yeah, okay, that's something that he's like slightly obsessed about because again, he's a really smart guy. And he's just like baffled, like, well, why did this crap stop working? Doesn't even make sense. So when they get to this planet, when they like land in this like isolated spot, the radio's just like going off the charts. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, he gets it because he always carries it around with him because he's always checking it to see if anything's changed wherever he is, but it never does because the radios have completely quit. And then when he gets there, it just starts going ballistic, and then he's like, okay. Starts adding things together, more and more things come together, and then he's like, he finds out that they're at war because, like, let's say, you know, he stumbles upon a warfare scene with the aliens. Like, maybe he's flying around after he finds out that little designated death area, and like he's seeing aliens, and then they get shot down, or something like that.
I just had an idea. Like, it could be like kind of the aftermath of a battle. Like they hear like in the distance like a battle. You know what I'm saying? So they like either like walk to it or they like take the ship as close as possible, something like that, So they get there and they're kind of like spying on the aliens, right?
Mhm.
It's like over a crest of a hill or something like that. And they see like a line of like alien prisoners, right? And then there's but then there's also like the actual like the victorious soldiers, the alien soldiers like walking, and they have like these earpieces on, so almost like earplugs, but like they're like I guess more prominent, and you can like they're obviously there to like make you not hear anything.
Yeah.
And so like there's like a bunch of POWs.
Yeah.
Lined up, and so like one of the aliens just like turns on like some sort of radio or something, and they all like just like freak out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and like
and
all the
slowly
prisoners just
die.
like die. It's like a torturous death. You see what I'm saying?
And then like he can also get that. Oh man, if there's only one, he could even try to intercept that frequency. And like he could use alien technology to try to hear it.
Yeah.
Or like he could pick it up on the radio or something, and then he kind of starts putting more and more together. It's like a certain radio frequency waves, like certain radio waves that just like and doesn't even sound like anything to humans.
Okay. So that's basically our midpoint. That's our act 3. And so then after that, like as like they're kind of as he's like kind of putting 2 and 2 together. Let's say like the little girl sneezes or something, right? And the aliens just, well, no, they have ear things on. What if like,
Ooh.
Well, what if like there's like more of like enemy soldiers like coming towards like the battlefield, and so they're basically like caught in between these two people. You see what I'm saying? They have to like escape somehow. The point is they just need to like be found and escape back to the ship somehow. How? Well, we just need to figure out how to do that.
Well, she could be like, they could both be watching on the big screen, and he's watching it happen, and he's thinking about the radio, and then she, being a little girl, could like look at the buttons and she's kind of looking around, or like he could be like, "Don't watch this," and then she could just be like looking away, and then she sees like a button blinking, and it looks like an English word for help, and so she's curious, and she presses it. And it just blasts like some sort of artificial laser or something like that and takes out like half of the group. And they all look at her, and then ships like turn at their ship, and he's like, "Oh, what did you just do?"
So they're still in the ship in this.
Well, see, you said crest over a hill, so I was thinking like the ship kind of floating. That's how I was imagining the scene. But if they're on foot, then it would be different. It would have to be something else.
I was thinking of them on foot. I mean, we can do on ship. I just don't know how they wouldn't see that.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? Or maybe like, oh shoot, oh I got it. So maybe one alien sees her, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like she's okay. While he's doing that, she's gotten a little too curious, you know what I'm saying? She's like she's rose up like too much because she's just like super fascinated about like by what's going on. And one of the aliens, she like looks, and one of the aliens just like catches her eyes. She's frozen.
Oh, and he doesn't know either.
He doesn't know. Oh, the little girl could have like the like also like back in the spaceship scene, she could like still trying to be like him, she could have reflective glasses as well. So she's also like they're both frozen, but then the guy notices, he's like, gosh dang it, gonna have to save her. So then he has to go in, guns blazing.
Yep.
He has to kill like the squadron of the soldiers, right? And he kills them all. But then like so they call in not radio contact, but like some like telepathic like contact with another squad, and then like people like they're like in vehicles like coming over like the ridge, and they have to run back to the ship and escape.
Yes.
Something like that.
And then they have to make it back out of the atmosphere.
Exactly.
He uses the stored gasoline, ejects it, figures out that you can use guns in the thing, shoots the gasoline to explode the herd to pieces as they're falling through the atmosphere, maneuvering through different gates. And let's say that like at the very end, there's like this portal, there's a gate at the top, and it's like this almost like a force field that's closing that he has to make it through before they get there or something like that. But just to add tension and stuff. And he eventually makes it out and heads back to Earth.
Okay.
With that information.
So I guess would this technically be our climax?
Yeah, it would be the big battle scene.
Yeah,
dude.
this would be like some crazy stuff would need to happen. You'd have to as he's because you know how she needs that. You know how she needs to have that scene where she's like about to kill somebody.
Yeah.
Maybe like as the people are coming over the ridge. He's like, we gotta go, but there's like one alien. He's like eyes are shot out or whatever, and then like during all that or something, like he got done with one of his guns or like it jammed or something. He like throws it down and she like picks it up, or maybe he's just like ready to use a bigger gun, so he throws down his pistol and she picks it up. And so at the end, he's like, we gotta go. And he starts to run, but then he looks back and she's still there, like with it pointed, and that's like the dilemma right there. And then they come over the hill and then they have to escape back to the ship. What were you gonna say?
I was thinking like just the crazy crap, like something gets damaged on the ship that they're on, right? Mm-hmm. And it just and comes to a complete halt. The ship is fricked, and it's not moving, but it's hovering in 3-dimensional space, just sitting there.
Are we in space now?
Not in space. It would probably be. Well, it could. It would have to be still in the atmosphere.
Okay.
But I pictured it kind of like pretty high, but not too high. But they see another ship that they have to get on the other ship.
They have to board the other ship?
Yes.
Okay.
So they have to in order to escape the actual planet, they have to make the aliens think that they blew them up and escape on another ship.
Okay.
Without them following them and blowing them up to pieces. Otherwise, you're going to have aliens following them all the way to Earth and trying to kill them.
Yeah. Okay. Then they escape back to Earth.
Yep.
He gets back. He's somewhat of a changed man. His new mission is not vengeance, but it's to save humanity. And he puts that on his shoulders. And now he's got a sidekick with him, right? Yep. So they go off. Like, they get back. The town, like, kind of celebrates or whatever. Like, the parents, like, they embrace her, but maybe... Okay, yeah, they accept him. They treat him. They treat both of them kind of like as heroes. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But then he's like, "No time to be a hero. Got humanity to save." Yeah. So he goes. And they get on the tandem bicycle, ride to that tavern, and we like set up the sequel where he's looking for a scientist. Because he needs to collect all these scientists and like brains to figure out, okay, how can we get these radio systems back on and get them off of Earth? We need to drop the nuke on. We need to drop the radio nuke on the Earth to get them out of here.
Make it inhabitable. Yes.
Okay.
And there it is.
Cool.
Dude, how do you come from point A to point B?
It's awesome.
That's how you do it, fellas.
That is how you do it. So, that's the first episode. I don't know what we're gonna call this segment.
I don't either.
Whatever the title of this episode is, that's what we decided to name this segment. But, indeed. Well, I guess that's what we're gonna do, folks. This was our first time doing it. Next time we may add a few things. I know Rocket Jump, they do this really cool thing where at the end of the episode they have an elevator pitch. So basically you have 1 minute to kind of try to pitch the idea as if you were pitching it to an executive. Ooh. So that's a cool idea. We may implement something. We may actually take some creative liberty and find out some sort of thing that we can do, something like that. But the point of this is to just take a concept from point A to point B, work out those creativity muscles, and come up with a story. And I think
that was a very difficult one to do.
It was a very difficult one to do.
But we did it.
We did do it indeed.
Wow.
Oh my goodness gracious.
My brain creativity muscles are like jello right now.
Yeah, mine are just like, oh my gosh. That like wasn't a fart, but it was my stomach somehow, but it sounded like a fart.
I thought it was a person.
Oh.
I thought it was someone going,
No, dude,
I was like, what?
That came from inside my body.
Is there a person inside your body, Cole?
I mean, I haven't taken a pregnancy test in a few days, so maybe.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Well, all right. With that, folks, we're out of here. Look in the show notes below for any links to our social media. And, don't be afraid to give us a review on iTunes, an honest review. If you hate us, give us a 1-star. If you think we're pretty cool guys, give us a 5-star. Or don't do anything.
We're also pretty hot, just letting you know.
Yeah.
Wink, wink. And I love you.
If you want to see any of the stuff that we have done as filmmakers, you can look on our YouTube channel, War Torn Productions. And until next week, I am Cole Johnson.
Oh, sorry. I'm supposed to speak. Yeah, I'm Ethan Winslet.
And you guys take it easy and have a good Thanksgiving, even though it's still not Have a Merry Christmas. How about that?
Yeah, that's more like it. That's a couple months.
Yeah, have a real...
Wait, that's only next month.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
a little over a month.
Happy 4th of July.
Yes. Happy 4th of July, and we'll see you guys on Valentine's Day.